Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Sophia, and I'll be presenting my theme for the project this semester. First of all, the topic is the psychological appeals of populism and the effects in modern society, specifically in Latin American countries. But what is populism? Basically, populism is a political approach used by political actors, and its rise in the last few years has been a major challenge not only for democracy but also for political discourse, and the emotions that are expressed in these populist messages can influence political decisions. We'll explore how populism influences political dynamics, public opinion, democratic processes, by examining the balance between a genuine representation and rhetoric, and the usual and potential manipulations and factors to understand why people are drawn by populist messages and populist movements, how these leaders manipulate emotions, and how these emotions can affect political behavior and, of course, society. For the thesis, I'll implement the complexity of populism has a potential role in democracy. The appeal of populism depends on the implicit attitudes held within the population and gets activated and reinforced by populist discourse in traditional and new media, specifically in Latin American countries. Populist messages tap into people's feelings and frustrations, and media plays a big role in spreading and reinforcing those ideas. The more people hear the messages, the stronger the beliefs will become. And these can shape how people think about democracy and, of course, about political power. The study of psychological appeals of populism is relevant to the social sciences because, as we know, populism is not just a political phenomena. It becomes a social, psychological, and economic phenomena. First of all, in the political psychology, how social sciences can analyze how populism's movements can mobilize emotions, and of course, how these leaders use these emotions rhetorically to connect with people. For sociology, we see how populism divides society in two groups. So, like, we have the elites, the corrupt elites, and we have the pure people that are the one that they're being threatened by the government or the elites. Social sciences provide a multidisciplinary focus to understand why populism it's resonate by people, how it spreads, and what social and psychological factors are sustained by it. I'll be basically conducting a research for the form of the project, and the social sciences that I'll be using will be sociology, psychology, and political science. So first of all, we have the primary discipline, which is political science, and the secondary disciplines will be psychology and sociology. The concepts and theories that I'll be using for these disciplines will be the first of all in the political science, the main theoretical perspectives and concepts in order to study populism is the populism theory, to understand how populism is framed and how is it portrayed within the people, and political polarization, referring to the increasing to dividing ideologies, political ideologies such as liberal and conservatives, and Democrats and Republicans. Also, I want to explore the main theory of democracy in order to understand if it's affecting or not society and political movements. In psychology, I'll use the social identity theory. First of all, the identity of people from the groups they belong to, favoritism, emphasizing by the us and them, or the elite and the outsiders, the people. Also, the cognitive dissonance theory in group thinking and out group thinking, in order basically to understand like the emotional appear and the psychological theories to provide like a framework for understand the individual and the collective psychological processes that underline the appeal of populism within the people. And finally, for sociology, I'll be using it in order to explain a little bit the psychological perspective, focusing on the causes, the consequences, and the effect that populism has in mass media. So I'll be using some theories such as cultural hegemony, and also the framing theory. For the methodology, I'll be using interviews and surveys. For the interviews, I'll be using at least 5 or 6 people from Latin American countries, of course, and I'll be asking questions about populism, what they think about populism. And for surveys, I'll be using Google Forms, and I'll be, of course, translating the results of the participants. This drives me to the challenges and possible difficulties to the research that will be the language. So basically, the people that I'll be interviewing and having the surveys, their first language will not be English. So that can be a little like a problem for me. But I think for these, I'll be using people that speak fluently English and have like insights and thoughts about and concerns about their political problems and political issues they're having in their main. On the other hand, I could have potential difficulties in the surveys because of the lack of knowledge and experiences of the people interviewed. And for these, I'll implement some questions that cover the apolitical situation. Let's say if they have political sides in their countries, if they know about populist movements, like a little background to understand if they know what is populism. And if they know what is populism, do they know that the actors that are spreading like political message are populist?